Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be doing a review for the new Apple TV film Wolves. This is a new film from 2024, rated R with a runtime of an hour and 48 minutes. As of the recording of this video, we have a Rotten Tomato score of 69% from the critics, 54% from the audience, which I was very surprised that it was that low, and a Letterbox average rating of 3.1, which I feel that average rating on Letterbox is actually pretty fair. This is a film by director John Watts, who you may be most familiar with from the Spider-Man films in the MCU. In this film, hired to cover up a high-profile crime, a fixer finds his night spiraling out of control when he's forced to work with an unexpected counterpart. This film stars Amy Ryan as Margaret. You may know Amy Ryan from The Office. You also have Austin Abrams as the kid, George Clooney as Margaret's man, and Brad Pitt as Pam's man. So Brad Pitt and George Clooney's characters don't even have name in the film. Uh, so I'm just gonna, if I ever throughout the review, you'll hear me talk about George Clooney and Brad Pitt because their characters don't really have a name. So, uh, did I enjoy this film? Before I get too deep into it, I knew this was coming out in Apple TV. It had a very small theatrical release. I don't even think it released in my city. But I knew I wanted to watch it because I love these two. The chemistry between these two is undeniable. I'm a big fan of the Ocean's 11 films. And then when I saw the trailer and I knew what the premise was going to be, of like, oh, you got two of the guys that do the same work, having to cooperate, like these unwilling partners, right? Odd couple type of stuff. Like I knew it was gonna work out between Clooney and Pitt. And overall, I was entertained. Now, I don't think this is a film that I'll remember for a long time. It's probably not even one of my favorite from these two. But I'm glad I watched it. I enjoyed my time watching it. It's something that was, good to have to kind of unwind. Something definitely that since I can watch it at home, it makes it very easy for me to just kind of get into it. So let's talk about this. This film offers a blend of action, adventure, and a charm thanks primarily to its charismatic co-leads. With a decent story and a handful of fun sequences, the film is serviceable addition to the platform's growing catalog. Though ultimately, I think it falls short of leaving a lasting impression. Um, so let's start with some of that. What holds this together is really the chemistry between the leads, right? It is undeniable that Brad Pitt and George Clooney have been working together in other films, and they work very well together. They have very interesting back and forth banter, some shared moments of vulnerability, and as they kind of work together further into the film, they develop a sort of camaraderie, if you will. Even though even though when the plot starts to drag a little bit, it's clear that the director at least understands how to craft this dynamic relationship between the two of them. Um, I don't know how much they were really acting. They could have been just that could have been their natural chemistry. So, but yeah, there's some humor. There's a little bit of heart, and there's some interesting action sequences. Not too many though, but definitely some interesting stuff. The story itself, first of all, it's very convoluted. Um, it's not something that I feel like it's almost as if they try to push this story in to fit a mold that was not for that specific story, right? They try to bring in some of the familiar tropes, some of those ideas. These two guys, like the odd couple, and a lot of the stuff works, but sometimes it just doesn't. Like, it feels like it didn't know whether it wanted to go left or right, which ironically is something that that was kind of the conflict of the film, like these two fixers trying to do things their own way. So the narrative itself, very competent overall, but it doesn't provide any kind of depth or unexpected twist. And when they do have twists, they feel like they just kind of came out of left field, not something that really builds throughout the film. There are a few definitely genuine fun sequences that deliver entertaining and action set pieces that are just really interesting to see on the screen. There's a really cool slow motion scene that really caught me by surprise. How tense it is, and then how much of a like how fun the payoff is when things kind of fall into place. So the film is definitely a little bit guilty of overstaying its welcome. Sometimes it just slows down way too much. Some scenes feel a little bit drawn out, longer than necessary. Even one of the sequences, I'm like, you could probably completely get rid of this and still have a pretty tight film that might feel a little bit more satisfying. So in the end, this is an unremarkable experience, but if you're in the mood for a interesting film that will take up 2 hours of your time, and especially if you like the co-leads, if you're a fan of Pitt or Clooney or both, but if not, I would just recommend do a rewatch of Ocean's 11. You might have a better time with that. I think that might have been on me as well. My expectation was like, oh, am I getting a Ocean's 11 type of little thing, which is not. That's not what we were here. So uh, I would probably watch one more because I feel like the director probably learned some lessons while working on this, and I can see now that they're developed, that the relationship of the characters is kind of more developed. We don't have to spend time building that out, so it could lead to a more entertaining film. So if you've seen Wolves, let me know what did you think about it down in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe. Let me know what else you're watching on Apple TV Plus. So stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.